What is going on, everyone? This is Dillon from WeTheCoasters. We're checking on into Universal Orlando Resort. Lots of updates going on by. Lots of stuff within HHN as the event is now beginning, which we will not be doing the event tonight, but we will be later on in September. But big things going on with Hollywood Rip Ride Rockit since our last visit. So without further ado, let's get started and showcase what's going on with Rip Ride Rockit. Well, or whatever's left of it, I should say. So right across from here, you can see where the Hard Rock Cafe is. This would be the former Blue Man Group, and here is Rip Ride Rockit, or at least whatever is left of it. You can see from the back here, this would be the second to last mid-course brake run is, and the third to last, or the last mid-course brake run. And all that area after the drop to then swooping into the brake run there is gone. And then after the drop off the mid-course brake run of that one, leading up into the station is gone. But there's a lot more stuff that is gone from the attraction, and we'll show you that when we get more inside the Universal Studios Florida. But before we talk more about Rip Ride Rockit, we're going to showcase Halloween Horror Nights stuff in the front. Ah, yes. Universal Studios Florida and the Halloween Horror Nights medallion is here, as well as the featured haunted houses for the timeline of the event. So the big headliners, as you can see right over here with the Halloween Horror Nights 2025 medallion right down the middle. We have Jason Universe to the left. Follow over here also to the left, Five Nights at Freddy's over here, Terrifier, and WWE, The Horrors of the Wyatt 6. I cannot wait for this event. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Me and Lynn will be here in September. Stay tuned for that when that does come out. Here they all are, as you can see, as you approach the entrance over here. Super cool, man. I cannot wait for this. There is pretty much like all of like the IP houses sound terrific, and even the originals sound really good. So from what I've heard, a lot of people have been saying big things. As I'm making this recording, I believe the first public one is either today or happened yesterday, but this is opening weekend technically, so they are going to be slammed. That's why there's a lot of people dressed up out here for Halloween Horror Nights. That is going to start also tonight, as mentioned. So be aware that if you are coming to Universal Studios Florida, if you're spending the regular day here, they will close at 5 p.m. to prepare for the event, while Islands of Adventure opens at 8. So make sure you are fully aware of that when you do book your vacation and you're only going to the parks. You can get Universal Express posted over here, as well as get to aware about what's Halloween Horror Nights with the Halloween Horror Nights Express and the RP Tour. By the way, Halloween Horror Nights 6:30 p.m. till 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, they're definitely prepared for this for sure. By the way, also I will mention too, when we do the Halloween Horror Nights vlog, they have differences for Stay and Scream that is going on around here. As you see properly, they got all this set up. They're ready to go. The whole event, they are set. No more waiting. The time is finally here for Halloween Horror Nights, the biggest Halloween event in all of the United States. It is so freaking huge. Cannot wait. Now, the layouts to get to the haunted houses will be different because Rip Ride Rockit is not open. So, here's an example right here. They have a sign over here on the left that tells you where Five Nights at Freddy's, the WWE, The Horrors of the Wyatt 6, Grave of the Flesh, and Terrifier at, which is going to be that way. Again, it is going to be very different because Rip Ride Rockit actually is closed, and they will be, you know, working on the demolition of that. So if you are here between now and early to mid-September, you will see some of the tracks still up, but from what I'm aware of, we'll be hearing that the deadline to get rid of Rip Ride Rockit's entirety of the track, the station, everything is by mid-September. You heard that from me. Sometime around there, they're gonna get all that out of there. Speaking of Halloween Horror Nights, they do have the queue set up for whenever they do the switchbacks for the haunted houses, all by the staging area. So again, be sure to keep an eye on your maps wherever they're at. That way you know where to go. Well, it seems kind of recently that we were here. And as you can tell with working on Rip Ride Rockits, well, they've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. The sign that was right over here, that's all gone. And I believe they've already taken out the metal detectors. They've taken out some other stuff. It looks like they've taken off the wallpaper in some areas of the characters where they're over here. I'm trying not to go too far back to be in an unclosed area. They have also managed to take out a good number of things around like where the queue area is. And I believe from what I'm aware of, they've also taken out the lockers too for the attraction. I am also aware of that they have taken out the trains that are entirety of the Rip Ride Rockit area. They were loaded onto a truck as I'm making this video 3 days ago, so those are no longer there. However, I do not know if they are going to be scrapped or if they are going to be preserved, at least in some form. But yeah, they are fully gone from Universal Orlando Resort. However, I will mention too on the side, as you can see, the station is still there, the lift hill, the first drop, the non-inverted loop is still there, and the first mid-course brake run is still there as of what we speak. You're probably wondering over here, there's something missing over here. Isn't there supposed to be a red piece of track, a Rip Ride Rockit that's supposed to circle around that way, and another building kind of right there? Yes, indeed, that is the case. Rip Ride Rockit's little turn after that first mid-course brake run is gone. So they've also walled off the firehouse entry over there too, so you can't go through there. So they've extended that out. And they've also got rid of the little gray support area over here where they have a camera. That's the Guggenheimer little building. That is also removed. So that whole thing is gone. It looks like they may have also done some work for where Metropolis Tribune was for the sign. Is that ready to go too? We'll see. I feel like that may change though after Halloween Horror Nights. We'll see. But this whole area though is open, but for how long though? I'm not entirely too certain, but as you can tell though, obviously we can't go too far in because that's where the team members go, but this whole area though, yeah, that's crazy. Hard enough to believe though. But wow, they are really doing a lot of work around this area. Take a look at that though. That is probably the biggest, like, my goodness. So the whole treble clef area, that is gone. Completely gone. You can kind of see through here where they had to make a hole through the coaster. They had to modify from here, and then they also had to modify through this part of the building too. One last thing about Rip Ride Rockit, and this is rather more of the replacement. The only thing that we are fully aware of is that here on WeTheCoasters, we are aware of what's going to be taking over, and it's very, very little. We do know it's an Intamin. That is the big thing. So if you're a fan of Hagrid's and VelociCoaster, you are going to love this for sure. As far as what it could be that's going to take over, as far as the ride layout and everything, we've heard it could be an Intamin vertical launch coasters there, which is similar, if you think about it, to Rip Ride Rockit's lift hill. We'll see though, time will tell on that one. We have heard also that it could be a very custom layout that's there, that is very, very unique. Although it would probably be taking up most of the footprint that Rip Ride Rockit formerly operated. Hello there. And then we'll see how it goes from there. I'm not entirely too sure as to what else along the way, but time will tell. There has been a lot of rumors within the IP regarding what could take over, which is Fast and Furious, which could also be detrimental to Fast and Furious Supercharged. It could be Ghostbusters, which, if you think about, the main entrance is over here where they're going to do the new coaster. That is what we've also heard. And it could be Back to the Future. We'll see. I doubt it with Back to the Future. I do not see that happening at all. I feel like Universal is trying to tease people. So what do you guys think in the comments below? Fast and Furious, Back to the Future, or Ghostbusters? We are convinced here on We the Coasters it's probably going to be Ghostbusters. We've been telling you guys for quite some time. But we'll see though. Time will tell. Alrighty, that's enough of the Rip Ride Rockit talk. Let's go over and showcase some of the scare zones that have had some recency updated before the event has begun. So as you can tell, they have put some green paint that's over here, like some ooze. So they have done some work over here within this car that's right over here. They have done some work when the florist area is. That looks really cool, that what they're doing there. And then they've put some ooze work around the police cars over here. Right now showcasing Revenge of the Mummy, a 15-minute wait. And then they have a little bit of a stage little thing over here. They're showcasing, they'll probably do a bit of a scene right here. Interesting to say the least. I'm not sure what they'll do, but they have it covered for obvious reasons and also covered in the ooze. A big thing that's being shown here now is that the Palace area here, which used to be the arcade, is now the Tribute Store. Let's go take a look. All right, here we are, going inside. Halloween Horror Nights merch over here, like the shirts. Looks like a Freddy Fazbear onesie that's there. That's the case, $75. More Five Nights at Freddy stuff over here. We'll talk a little bit more about that specifically in just a minute. You can see there's some stuff where you leave Revenge of the Mummy that is connected within their gift shop that's over here. So just make sure you're fully aware that is also their checkout area in one, particular direction. Terrifier stuff over here and here. We have heard that Terrifier is very popular in Halloween Horror Nights already, and will go anywhere within the event. So make sure you watch your backs when you're in the event. All that stuff over here.
I went the other day, they didn't have anything. And then I went to...
Very small tribute store this year compared to stuff in the past. And then some Halloween Horror Nights little collective pennies that are over here and coins. The other big thing that is going on is Louie's. So you're probably wondering what's going on with Louie's. Well, if you remember from the last Universal video that was there within like the closing of Rip Ride Rockit, I mentioned that they were going to transform into Freddy Fazbears. Let's see if they're open. Yes, indeed they are. Cool. Oh, that smell of Italian food really kicking in. It smells really good there. And they do have a big thing that's over here where they have a cutout area of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that you can see right over here. So they have a photo op that's there, and they have a curtain that's behind there. I am aware of, I don't think there will be any animatronics. I could totally be wrong though. But if it is not, that is unfortunately a bummer. They've also managed to update their menu. So the two new things that they have is the con carne pizza, which if you get a jumbo slice, that's $13.99, and a combo, which is with a side Caesar for $19.09, and a veggie bianca, $13.29 for a jumbo slice, and $18.39 for a combo. They still managed to have their spaghetti and meatballs, as well as their meatball sub. They've also added baked burrata ravioli, $12.99 for the entree, and $18.09 with the combo. Spinning meatballs, same thing over there as well. They also have a vegan sausage and peppers pasta for $14.49. Meatball sub is $14.99, and a combo with a Caesar salad is $20.09. And a sausage, peppers, and onion sub, which is also brand new, it is $13.99. It's $19.09 with the combo with the side Caesar salad. Also, we are fully aware of too that whenever they do transform into the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, the uniforms of the people working within the pizzeria, they do have it updated to where they are from the actual fictional place. So be aware that if you are here, when you do get to check them out and kind of go from there. And on top of that too, just trying to showcase this, they do have an updated Halloween Horror Nights 2025 Freestyle Cup that's here. So check it out when you do. And if you are one of those collectibles, go get it. If you remember last year, Fast and Furious Supercharged was closed during the whole time of Halloween Horror Nights, and even a time before. That's when they also would not operate the event. Well, today and this year, they have the attraction open. So be aware, not like last year where the ride would be closed during the entirety of that timeline. This year, they do have it open. So make sure you are fully aware that this ride is open, but when Halloween Horror Nights does come around, they will have the attraction shut down for the haunted house that will take place. Speaking of which, that's what we're gonna do right now, just to show you a few things inside the queue. Now, I wanna make sure that whenever you do enter this area for the haunted house, this is for Jason Universe that is here. So last year, I believe, was Chucky, and then a couple years ago was, I believe it was like, they had like the older guy that was there. The memory's not kicking in of who it was, but that was the first time whenever they did a haunted house within this attraction. So keep in mind of that when you do come in. They will use this portion of the queue to get in, and then there will be more switchbacks to enter the haunted house, which we'll show you in a second. And the big thing is that, remember, they will have switchbacks around in this area to go around here to then enter that door for the haunted house. All the Jaws stuff, as you can see from the little mini Amity area, has fully been removed, from the Amity sign to the makeshift boat and attraction that was right over here. All that is gone, but obviously the one thing that will remain is the person climbing up over there is the shark prop, of course, from the attraction that was been around since 1990. So obviously that will still be around for some time though, but a very popular photo spot too, might I add. As you can see, they also have some Halloween Horror Nights stuff over here too. They have ready for of the pumpkin that's over here, all around here. You have pictures too. There's a little shirt over here. We have a Megan popcorn bucket, which I know we had the Chucky one last year, and that was freaky. And now we got Megan, so just as freaky. And this is something that I've heard about for some time. This is Rad Roach Meal, which is a solid milk chocolate roach. Look carefully too. They showcase everything, like from the chuck to the brisket to the ribs, all that. I know we're gonna try that, me and Lynn, down the road. No boy. They have a Five Nights at Freddy's headband. Look at this. They got the regular ones here, and I'm pretty sure this is when they get all stored in evil. My goodness. Yeah, I guarantee the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, they're gonna sell that like crazy. So good work on Universal for taking advantage of that. My goodness. And then they have a Terrifier popcorn bucket. Looks similar like to the Megan one. That was $29.99 plus tax. Let me just check what the Megan one was there. $34.99 plus tax. Wow. I want to briefly mention that if you are picking up a wristband for Halloween Horror Nights, as you're doing the event, this is where you would go to do your pickup location. Otherwise, they'll send you to the where you go to the front gate and go from there. So that's cool how they have that there. That's for Stay and Scream, and kind of go from there. Again, we'll explain more of that when we do Halloween Horror Nights in general, and how we'll go from there. And what is this am I seeing over here? Oh, the black phone. Oh, that was the thing from earlier. The haunted house that was over for Supercharged. That was the other one. That was when they ever did the first time for a haunted house. This one's for the black phone too. So interesting. The old Jaws restrooms, as you could tell, most of the walls are gone. However, they still have some gates over here, as they also have added a ramp area over here as well as an extra step. As you can tell, right now they are not officially open yet. They're still doing final touches on the area. Probably should be about another week or two, maybe, that they will eventually reopen. Maybe at the most a week. We'll see. Time will tell. But it had been a while since they've done a big work on this, though. They've changed everything up. They have repainted everything. They have done a lot of work, as you can see. And as you can tell, for Nightmare Fuel Circus of Decay. So you can see where they do their show times: 8 p.m., 9:30, 11, and 12:30. They have all this set up from the former Fear Factor live area here. They have the props all set up in the back. I can see some of it there. They do have the main marquee set up over here. Yeah, so they are definitely set. Also, they have mentioned about the menu items for Halloween Horror Nights. Lots of things have been shown. And coming from me, I like a lot of the things that's posted around here. So you're gonna see me actually try quite a number of things for Halloween Horror Nights this year. So thank you, Universal, for helping out the picky eater in me. I am so very thankful for it. Seriously. Now, I mean, there's even areas of the food booths that are over here, right across the bridge, which, by the way, that is also reopened under an extensive refurb. They got new wood and everything. As you can see with this bridge, they have brand new wood. You can see how light the wooden boards are over here. Yeah, they did a really good job around this area. About time they got this open. And I can tell you this, at least for this time being, as you can see where that crane is at, probably the last time I'll probably get to see Rip Ride Rockit with this skyline view that you were gonna see right here. It's crazy. So I decided to do Fast Food Boulevard for lunch today, and I got myself the double battered chicken platter. I substituted the coleslaw for the tater tots. We'll show you how it is afterwards when I'm done eating. Alrighty, so I finished up eating over at Fast Food Boulevard, all that region there. So I gotta say, first off, that chicken platter was very, very good. Fried chicken, excellent. It was very, very good. I enjoyed everything that there was about it. Tails was good, the corn was good. Now, I substituted the coleslaw with tater tots, and the tater tots was actually very good too. So, very, very good. So, that's something to say the least. So, as I'm here, keep in mind, it is about 3:30, and studio is going to close in like a couple hours, or I should say about another hour and a half, because they are getting ready for HHN. So, people are dressed up everywhere for the event, and it is going to be going on by very soon. So, looks like they got all this all set here too. They didn't get this all decorated last time I was here, and now they have this decorated. One thing that won't be open during the whole entire time will be, obvious, DreamWorks. So keep in mind that. And then this area over here, oh boy. Cannot wait to see this at night. That is going to be sick. A lot of backstory, especially with that house right over there. You can tell they got this whole entire area just decked out, creepy, rusted. Oh man, these things are like super, super cool. Kind of freaky though, with the vibe that they're gonna bring in. It's gonna be super neat. Man, I cannot wait though. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Looking forward to this year. You can see in this region over here, this HHN bar where the red scrim is and all that, that's all set and ready to go. They have merch for Mel's Dine, which finally has its own set of merchandise that you can see right over here. So they have t-shirts like this one here for $75, which is like a kind of like a bowling type of shirt that's there. And then a traditional one for $33. This one glows in the dark. They have cups, and they have signs over there too. It's good that they got that because, you know, eventually when it's nighttime, I love how they also have this too. Cool. You can see Mel's over here. It says saying drive-in, Mel's Dine. That is all classic HHN, and everyone who's a big Horror Nights fan loves it. Attention to detail, everyone. It really comes in handy. And then over here in the Hollywood section, they finally got all this here all set and ready to go. So as you can tell right now, they have this all covered up, as you could tell. They have this all set though, so you can tell they've been ready for this event, and this is where Universal is going to make some killer money. You know, deep down, doesn't matter who you are, annual pass holder, first timer and all, there's no doubt about it. Halloween Horror Nights, they make killer money. Now, the area that I thought they were going to do a tribute store, which was this building in particular that you see here where the Studio Styles was, which used to be the Pass Member Lounge, and there was a tribute store behind Dark Room. They have this as an exclusive area where you can buy stuff for pass holders stuff, and team members both can purchase stuff in there. You can go in there, show your pass or team member card, whatever it may be, and you go from there. But I don't need to do anything. I'm all good on stuff. Nothing really catches my eye. And then Schwab's Pharmacy, normal stuff in there, nothing too fancy to check out. One final thing about HHN to talk about is how long the event is going to go on by. If you've noticed, Halloween Horror Nights technically starts, well, I should say as the moment of this video is being made today, but also yesterday. And it will go through till November, I believe it's 2nd or 3rd. I will double check on that in just a second. But yes, it goes on till early November, and it's going to go from there. So be aware that no matter what, if you are going to Universal Studios from now till the very early November, that Halloween Horror Nights will be going on during that timeline, and make sure you plan accordingly if you're doing the regular Universal stuff, if you're not doing HHN. We would highly recommend to have you go out early to studios, knock out everything, and then move over to Islands, because Islands will be open later on. Studios will normally open at 8 a.m., so no early admission, so make sure you go there and do your thing. Speaking of HHN, oh my, look at the line for the early entry for the haunted houses. That is from there. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'd like to remind you folks that this is opening weekend of HHN, and look at the line for that. Wow. Wow. They do have checkpoints over there too, and they'll showcase here when these haunted houses open up from here. So I just want to showcase for those who do eventually want to check out the event, The WWE Haunted House opens at 5:15. The Five Nights at Freddy's opens at 5:15. Terrifier opens up at 5:30. And the Grave of Flesh opens at 6. That's all within this area that you can see right around here. But wow, there is a lot of people already built up, and they're not wasting any time at all. I feel like a lot more people, though, are starting to migrate from where the San Francisco area is down on over to here, and it's going to merge out this way here. But how far and how long, I don't know, but oh boy, that is a lot of people already. They're not wasting any time at all. One last look at all this stuff going on by, as keep in mind, HHN is going to be beginning very, very soon when the timeline of this video is being made, opening weekend. So be ready for it, guys. If you are planning to do HHN, be ready for the crowds. If you spend money on Express, go for it. Because those lines, they will be terrible. Keep in mind, there are a good number of people that are filling into the park for the early Scream experience that's over here. And they're already walking into the park. The main thing is that if you do have a Universal ticket or you are a Universal Orlando pass holder, as you're here for Halloween Horror Nights premiere night, you know, or any Halloween Horror Nights night in general, you can get into the park. Otherwise, if you don't have a ticket, you'll be waiting out here in this middle area that's right out here. So just be aware that if you are coming to Halloween Horror Nights and, you know, have an advance of what's going on. So just make sure that you are fully aware and have a plan in store when you check out the event. So that is something to keep in mind. All right, that's enough of Universal Studios with Rip Ride Rockit, Demolition, and HHN stuff. Let's just talk about a few things with CityWalk of what we know of, and then we'll just go from there. First things first, CityWalk invites to celebrate Jimmy Buffett Day at Margaritaville on August 29th from 4 p.m. till midnight. So that's going on right now. It's the making of this video. So it's already too late, but just to showcase, that's what's going on over there. They do have reservations as well as you can see over there. That's down that way, as you can tell. Another thing to keep in mention here, the Epic Universe Preview Center is still open right now, but for how long though, I'm not entirely too certain. Now that the park has finally opened up, who knows how much longer the Preview Center will still be around. However, if there is one thing that is guaranteed, it is still selling a lot of merch that is over here, and a lot of people still manage to go in it for the people who've never been to the park yet. So that is cool. That's going on there. Another look at the crowd that is coming into CityWalk that is heading over to Universal Studios, you can see right over here. So you're going to see a lot of foot traffic that'll come on in, mainly from around the 2:30 p.m. till about the timeline when Halloween Horror Nights will open up, and then we'll go from there. So again, be aware that I'd recommend coming in here a little early, just so that way you are good to go and you avoid most of the crowds when they first show up to the park. And finally, some advertisements going on by over at the AMC Universal Cinemark that is over here. Keep in mind they do have a thing for DreamWorks Gabby Dollhouse the movie, as you can see over here, September 26th. And for a limited time only, from August 29th to September 4th, they have Jaws 50th anniversary. You can get it over here at the movie theater, where you have a photo op with the Amity Police Department card that is over here, and you can watch the movie Jaws. Dates and times, entertainment, all are scheduled to availability and all that. And interesting enough, if you look on the inside of the car, they do have a thing about the no swimming hazardous area with the beach closed by order of the Amity Police Department. Super cool. And if you look carefully too, on the other side, just to show you from here, they have the police jacket and the newspaper of the Amity Gazette too. That's awesome. Well guys, that is going to do it here from WeTheCoasters at Universal Orlando Resort. We do want to wish everyone who is going to show up at Universal Halloween Horror Nights a fun and safe trip overall, as I know it'll be a lot of fun. And for those especially who'll be going tonight, if you guys see this video and had a good time and you see this video, let me know in the comments down below how it goes. Also be aware that weather could play a factor as well, so be prepared for anything. Once again guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked this video and enjoyed it so much, please be sure to hit that like button. It really helps us out against the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're brand new to the channel and hit that bell notification for any future uploads. Follow us on all of our socials, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Threads. Once again, my name is Dylan. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys later until the next video, no matter where it may be at. I promise you won't be at Universal Orlando again. We finished up on all that. Time to see you guys later until that next video. Peace.